Good morning and welcome to Kid News. I'm Tori. Today is Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. And we begin with a massive great white shark raising eyebrows on the East Coast. Ironbound is more than 12 feet long and tips the scales at 1,000 pounds. Researchers from OSearch tagged him in 2019 and keep tabs on his whereabouts to learn more about how, when, and why he and his great white friends cruise up and down the Atlantic. In just the past 2.5 years, this big fish has reportedly traveled more than 13,000 miles from Nova Scotia to the Florida Keys and back again multiple times. He spent some time at the Jersey Shore in late April, but his latest ping, just yesterday, came from the Carolinas. And while Ironbound is enormous, he's far from the largest great white ever recorded. According to National Geographic, the biggest was 20 feet long and weighed about 5,000 pounds. Back on land, pump prices are taking a shark-sized bite out of your parents' wallets. Nationwide, the average cost of a gallon of gas is now an all-time high of $4.37. In California's Bay Area, it's a jaw-dropping $6.03. Those numbers aren't lost on President Biden, who yesterday said he could taste the frustration of Americans tired of high prices at the pump and just about everywhere else. Politicians are already looking ahead to midterm elections in November, knowing that the state of the economy could play a key role in bringing voters to the polls. High pump prices are also fueling sales of the hottest new trend on two wheels. Electric bikes aren't cheap, but one charge only costs about a quarter and will take a rider 75 miles. Are they a fad? Maybe, but there's some evidence of staying power. Last year, even before gas prices went up, more e-bikes were sold than electric cars. According to estimates, Americans bought 608,000 electric cars and trucks in 2021, and during that same year, purchased more than 880,000 electric bikes. That's almost double the number sold in 2020. This year, sales are expected to top 1 million. Ukraine's favorite bomb-sniffing dog just received official presidential recognition. On Sunday, President Zelensky awarded Patron, the Jack Russell Terrier, a Medal of Honor for his help detecting more than 200 explosives around the city. Patron is now a regular on Ukraine's official social media channels and, according to NPR, an international symbol of patriotism. So, too, is President Zelensky, who just donated his go-to fleece jacket to raise money for his war-torn country. Bidding started at $61,000 and ended with a sale of $111,000. The Ukrainian embassy in London organized the event to tell stories of bravery, as well as raise funds to support it. Art and toys also hit the auction block. The entire night raised over $1 million. Ukraine will spend the money rebuilding a specialty children's hospital in Lviv that was damaged in the attacks. For the first time in nearly 60 years, Queen Elizabeth did not attend the opening of Parliament. Buckingham Palace said she sat out the ceremony due to ongoing mobility issues, meaning the 96-year-old isn't moving around as easily or as pain-free as she used to. In her place, her eldest son, Prince Charles, wearing full military regalia and foreshadowing his future role as king, read her speech. Queen Elizabeth's absence raises more questions about whether she'll make an appearance at her own Jubilee, the upcoming party to celebrate her 70 years on the throne, and for royal watchers is another indication that the monarch's long reign is winding down. In other Kid News notes, we now know what football's GOAT will be doing when he decides to retire for real. Fox Sports announced yesterday that whenever that day comes, Tom Brady will join their broadcast booth as their lead football analyst. The star quarterback unretired earlier this year to play another season with the Buccaneers. An anonymous donor just paid the bill and wiped the slate clean for more than 100 college graduates in Texas. Wiley College's president and CEO, Herman J. Felton Jr., delivered the news at the graduation ceremony, telling the newly minted alumni, "You are debt-free, you don't owe the college a penny." The crowd met the news with cheers, applause, and even some dancing. Together, the class had owed about $300,000. That's it for Kid News. Now, today's Kid News quiz. How big is Ironbound, the great white? 12 feet and about 1,000 pounds. Gas prices in the U.S. just set an all-time high average of how much? $4.37 per gallon. What did Ukrainian President Zelensky donate to an auction? His fleece jacket. Tom Brady will do what when he retires for real? He'll be a football analyst for Fox Sports. In today's KidNuz Kicker, perhaps you've seen a jellyfish in the water or on the beach, but have you ever seen one in the sky? Those who watched Friday's SpaceX launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida did. It wasn't a real jelly, but a visual phenomenon created when a rocket lifts off around dawn or dusk and gets high enough that the sun's rays light up the plume of gases in its trail. The result looks just like the bell and tentacles of that seafaring, see-through blob. Curious? NPR has some great pictures, and we've linked to them on our resource page at kidnuz.org. Before we go, we want to shout out our teachers in their classroom, starting with Mrs. Salef at St. Joseph Catholic School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Miss Sundos at Kingdom Schools in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Mom Lindsay Moore, homeschooling at Moore Middle School in West Palm Beach, Florida. Miss Southam at Euless Newton in Henderson, Nevada. And Mrs. Sally at Legend High School in Parker, Colorado. Thanks for listening. Please check out our KidNuz store on our website for some great KidNuz swag like shirts, hats, and backpacks. We'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.